Susanna begin the summer every year with the movie It Happened One Night. And it's my opinion that this movie serves as the base premise for a lot of the events of season 2, but because it does, it also should give us an eerie feeling as the audience that the love story playing out between Belly and Jeremiah is not at all the romance it's puffed up to be. I do believe this story also foreshadows things we'll see in season 3, but as for season 2's events, the story starts with Ellie, an heiress on the run from her father. She's married someone her father didn't want her to marry. Ellie and Peter meet while traveling on a bus together at the same time. Taking the bus for a deliberate reason has become very significant to certain plot points of season 2. In the book, Jeremiah for some reason came and picked up Belly. In season 2, he doesn't. He makes her take the bus. And this is of course where we find Belly alone. There's no comedic meeting of lovers on a bus. She's completely by herself on this bus, all alone. And you could say that it goes from enemies to lovers, but does it really feel like a comfortable experience watching Jeremiah and Belly go from enemies to lovers? Let's be real. Worthwhile to note that by the end of this season, Conrad is also taking the bus all by himself. So while of course they don't take a bus together like Ellie and Peter do, it is interesting to note that at the beginning of this season, Belly takes a bus. At the end of this season, Conrad takes a bus. Eventually we find Peter and Ellie on the side of the road. Is this clicking now? We find them on the side of the road needing to hitchhike for help, and Ellie decides to lift up her skirt to try and get a car to stop. It's cute, it's flirty, it's witty dialogue. There's a little bit of banter between them. Like I said, it's enemies to lovers. However, this is a cute scene and a cute interaction between them. And just like Belly trying to change the tire, it's Ellie who takes charge and tries to find a solution. But this is not cute, okay? None of this was cute. None of this was this charming romantic comedy. This wasn't cute. And even to the people who are like, oh, this was so fair, Jeremiah had every reason to scream at, no, he didn't. He did not have any reason to scream at a 17-year-old woman stranded on the side of the road in this way and with this much rage that he's held on to for a year. The rage was disproportionate. It was so hypocritical. He took her greatest, insecurities, the things that make her feel the most pain, her breakup with Conrad, threw it in her face. The death of Susanna, threw it in her face. Her friendship with him, he lorded it over her and blamed her for everything. He took zero accountability, never apologized. It is actually so disturbing for me to watch this scene. And I think that because we know that this is all based on It Happened One Night, to watch the difference in this interaction and to see how they have the same plot points that you have in this classic romantic comedy, but it goes terribly wrong for Belly and Jeremiah, and somehow they still end up with each other. It should feel really uncomfortable to watch it play out this way. It's not supposed to be this happy romantic comedy. This is tragic. In this hotel motel, renting a cabin for the night scene, whatever this situation was, Ellie and Peter get a place for the night. And much like the awkward, oh no, there's only one bed kind of trope, for the era that this movie was created in, the fact that they had to share a room at all creates so much tension. So they put up this curtain in between them that they called the Walls of Jericho. Again, this is not that. There was a witty, playful flirtiness about Ellie and Peter needing to share this hotel room. It ended up being this romantic plot point of the story. This was not that. The fact that Conrad is there alone completely sabotages this parallel to this classic romantic comedy. This is not a cute, quirky romantic comedy between Jeremiah and Belly. And the presence of Conrad at so many of these moments really emphasizes that. And this positioning of all these people, it's like Belly is acting like the walls of Jericho between these two brothers. And that's particularly significant because Susanna made Jeremiah. We don't know if she made Conrad promise this. I mean, we have an idea in the books that she said something similar, but she specifically said to Jeremiah, you can never let Belly come in between you and Conrad. Look at this. Look at this. They're physically showing us he let that happen. He made that happen. And this is just sad. Like, we do not end this season on a cute, romantic, quirky note. This is just sad. But this directly parallels the motel or cabin scene with Ellie and Peter. This is that moment for Belly and Jeremiah. And it's horrible, right? It's not this classic romance. This is supposed to be Belly and Jeremiah's love story premise for season 2. Like, this is supposed to be them. However, again, it's so funny. Ellie needs clothes to change into to sleep in. And whose clothes does she borrow? She borrows Peter's. When Belly needs clothes, this entire season was like dressing up Belly, featuring Conrad literally giving her every shirt that he had. Belly is always wearing Conrad's clothes, not Jeremiah's. There's even this one scene where Peter and Ellie need to camp outside one night, and they kind of both realize their feelings for one another. I think we can say that Belly and Jeremiah camping out together on the golf course maybe mirrored this scene, but again, it was tainted as Conrad was literally sleeping right next to them. Right next to them. And the only time that we see Belly sleeping alone with someone is when she's with Conrad in the beach house in the fireplace scene. So again, this is not, they are not them. They're supposed to be, is the thing. Like, so many of these plot points, like the same events happen that are so pivotal to this story. They happen for Belly and Jeremiah, but the way that they happen are just sad. Like, it's just a wow, wow, like, yeah. And one last thing that I want to say that keeps coming to my mind as I think about this like theme of the walls of Jericho. They make a joke at the end about the walls of Jericho finally coming down, which means they get together, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But like, I actually think it's really profound that it's called the walls of Jericho, because what I think we're witnessing throughout all of season 2 are the walls of Jeremiah. We're seeing him really inappropriately refuse to take introspection, fix a lot, or process a lot of the feelings that he's having, and he makes it everyone else's problems, and he has a lot of walls. And what's concerning is the only time we saw those walls come down was in the very last episode. After he already got what he wanted with Belly, that's when the walls came down and he suddenly was empathetic. It's concerning to say the least, and he still has a lot more growth to do, I think.